Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. My name is Judy. I'm an average person, but I don't worship billionaires nor dream of dictators. I fight for freedom, democracy, human rights, and science. And upload weekly to this series, which talks about history, culture, economics, and more. Okay, my friends, before we dive into today's topic, please allow me to thank the friends who bought me coffee from my website last week. Thank you so much for your kind support, my friends. Thank you. My friends, as you know, Trump always says that make America great again. Yet it never tells you which period that he believes that America was great, the Middle Age or the Gilded Age. I think Trump means the Gilded Age. Why? Well, because many days ago he said in an interview at Time that high tariffs will help America, that tariffs will make the country rich. It's true that high tariffs will make the federal government rich while making ordinary people poor. And it will lead to a big government since money will be mainly controlled by the federal government. How so? Well, as most of you might know that tariffs are charged on goods bought from other countries. The importers of the goods, usually the first ones responsible for paying the tariffs. And then the importers have to raise the prices of the goods. So eventually, the consumers are the ones who pay the tariffs. And since Trump has placed historic tariffs on a wide variety of imports, including a 10% tariff on virtually everything coming into the United States, each and every American will pay this kind of tax. Higher prices of goods make people empty their pockets, while making the federal government rich. In general, wealthy countries maintain low tariffs compared to developing countries. Because, in my opinion, wealthy countries are usually democratic countries. In democratic countries, politicians need people's votes, so they have to try to offer better lives for the people. Hence, wealthy countries charge less tariffs. However, between 1861 and 1933, the United States had the highest average tariff rates on manufactured imports in the world. It remained high tariffs until income taxes as the most important source of revenue. Not everyone pays income taxes, but each and every consumer needs to pay tariffs, right? There you go. Tariffs make ordinary people poor. So why do I think Trump means the great time was the Gilded Age? If you recall, the Gilded Age is the period from about 1865 to 1902. Yeah, it was named by the 1920s historians after Mark Twain's novel The Gilded Age, A Tale of Today. Now you know that during the Gilded Age, the US government charged very high tariffs. But That's not the only reason that I believe Trump thinks that period was America's great time. During that time, workers didn't get the benefits and salaries they deserved. Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. My name is Judy Fay London. I'm an average person, but I don't worship billionaires nor do I love dictators. I fight for freedom, democracy, human rights, and science. And I upload weekly to this series which talks about history, culture, economics, and more. So what are we gonna talk about today? Trump's Purge. Yeah, you heard me right. Trump's Purge. Not Stalin's Purge. Why? Well, if you're not new to this channel, you don't know that I've already talked about Stalin's Great Purge. If you don't recall, I talked about it in two videos called No One is Safe in a Dictatorship. If you haven't watched them yet, please check them out in the description or comments. And if you like the content on this channel, please hit the subscribe button. It won't cost you anything. Yeah, I've studied dictators and talked about some of them in my previous videos. Why? Well, I hate dictators. Dictators. I mean, all dictators, they do same kind of things like controlling the media, purging the people who criticize them, and so on. And my friends, dictators hate the news media companies that dare to speak out the truth about their bad policies, and they also hate the people who don't praise them. Yes, they only wanna hear people praising them and their policies. If they hear opposite opinions, they try everything to destroy the news media companies and the people who criticize them. So they purge people. I feel sad because I warned people about this. Yet here we are. As you've seen, Trump has already been purging the lawyers he doesn't like and the law firms who have helped immigrants, and the judges who have obeyed the law, not his orders. In fact, I've written some poems about Trump's purge. Yes, those poems were my previous predictions about this kind of situation, to warn people, as I wrote them about a year ago before the election. And you know what? It turns out I was right. I was right about the order of this purge. In one of my poems, I said Latinos will be purged first. And now they are being purged, right? So Trump's purge has begun. Who's next? In my personal opinion, Africans are the next one to be purged. Just like I predicted it in my poems. If you would like to read them, I'll put the links in the description as well. By the way, I believe that Muslims would also be the next one. And then, well, my predictions remain the same. So, my friends, if you wanna leave and you wanna know when you should leave, I think it'll depend on your personal conditions, like property, job, family, and so forth. Where to go? It's also up to you. Canada, the UK, etc. Your decisions to be made. I wish you the very best. Hi everyone. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Judy Fay London. I'm an Irish person, but I don't worship billionaires nor do I love dictators. I fight for democracy, freedom, human rights, and science. And upload weekly to this series, which talks about culture, economics, and dictators and various events and people in human history. You know, my friends, I'm an Irish person, so I always want everyday people live by their lives. Ordinary people work hard and they deserve to be treated better. Also, as you know, I don't believe in any doctrines. I only believe in myself and Candyism, which doesn't exist because Candy was my late dog. But in Candy's world, the country is ruled by two or more parties, and average people are taken good care of by the government. However, it doesn't exist. In reality, the ruling party doesn't want everyday people to live well, to live long lives, which is why the so-called One Big Beautiful Bill is gonna cut Medicare and Medicaid. As you know, Medicare is a federal health insurance for people aged 65 and older, and some people under 65 with certain disabilities or conditions. And Medicaid is a joint federal and state program that helps cover medical costs for some people with limited income and resources. Medicaid offers benefits that Medicare doesn't normally cover, like nursing home care and personal care services. According to the Yale School of Public Health, the changes to federal health care programs of the One Big Beautiful Bill would kill more than 51,000 Americans annually. So here's the question. Why do they want to kill ordinary people, especially poor people? Well, in my opinion, some evil people at the top just want healthy young people to work, and work. And these evil people want ordinary people to die as soon as possible once they get old or they can't work. This way, the government doesn't need to pay back. As for disabled people, they along with low-income and elderly people are considered as the country's liabilities by these evil people. You know, when a businessman runs a country like running a company, he would get rid of the liabilities, right? So these evil people want them to die as quickly as possible. Yes, they've been telling people that taking care of everyday people is socialism, but it's a huge lie. Taking care of everyday people's lives is the government's duty. Everyday people work hard, harder than the rich. They deserve to be taken good care of by the government when they get old or sick. No one wants to age. No one wants to be disabled. No one wants to get sick. A free country shouldn't just use healthy young people to make money for the rich and the government and then get rid of them once they need help and care. So I say this so-called one big beautiful bill is inhumane. Okay, my friends, in case you don't know me yet, I'm Judy Fay London, a fan of Jack London. I'm a published writer who writes fiction and non-fiction novels and short stories. You're very welcome to visit my website judyfaylondon.com or Amazon to read my poems and my short stories. The last one, Mr. Rat, Candy, the dog, and so on, and my latest non-fiction book, Living with the Walking Dead, a roadmap for achieving your own success. I hope to see you there, and thank you so much for your kind support, and thank you very much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Judy Fay London and Judy Plus. Judy Fay London is a channel that mainly talks about culture, economics, and dictators and various events and people in human history, while Judy Plus is a channel that talks about interesting discoveries in the world of science. Thank you for watching. And my friends, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please hit the subscribe button. It's totally free. Thank you.